Hey YouTube, we're back. As you can see in that title, yeah, it just wasn't what I expected, but yeah, to you. um, yeah, just to get things started, I just feel that Joe, he was more calm in the beginning. He was giving that kind of like chill guy vibes, and then once it got kind of crazy with his whole living situation with his wife, Maddie, right? That's her name.
Kate.
No, Kate. Yeah, Kate.
Kate.
See, I be getting them mixed up, but yeah, with Kate, it kind of like pushed them to the limit to kind of like get back to that killing stuff that we like and know Joe for.
Yeah. I don't know about like, but know him for sure. I think that he's a serial killer. I mean, he's not a stalker. He's not a hot, weird guy that all the girls look at. Like he's literally a serial killer. So I think that was always something that he suppressed whenever he got with Kate and all that stuff. And I feel like love was his perfect match, but that's a different story. But yeah, I think kind of Kate wanting Joe to kill for her obviously is what brought that out. Like immediately offing the uncle in like the second episode or something is is what brought Joe back to what he's known for. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry for the cat. The cats is gonna be cats. Sorry for that. But yeah, just like how she was saying, just pretty much, just his whole living situation. It wasn't the same, I guess, how he thought it was gonna be when he moved from London. Yeah, from London with her. So just in the beginning of this like whole season, it's like you see Joe is kind of. He's trying to be just, a regular parent, but it's just that they just keep arguing, keep having issues that he wants to resolve by, offing someone, because, that's his only solution to problems.
I mean, yeah, once you're a serial killer, like,
yeah.
just offing someone seems probable. I mean, it seems like the perfect solution. So I think that there's two things that are true about Joe in every season. Number one is that he's a serial killer. Number two is that he's a hoe. Like he falls for literally anyone.
Yeah.
And like that's the whole point of his character, so it makes sense. But yeah, it makes sense that he wasn't gonna stay in a happy marriage for long. I don't think anyone bought into that.
He just thinks that as soon as he like has a regular, genuine conversation with any of these women like that, oh my gosh, like it's this like he gets automatically like, yeah, was I wrong all of a sudden? Like, are you the one? Like, like bro be tweaking.
Yeah, so obviously he fell for Bronte because it's a season of you, like that shows what's gonna happen. And then he kind of started spiraling because he's still wanting to protect Kate as he was falling for Bronte because of his image, her image, their family image. And we all knew it wasn't going to be casual between them, even though he tried to act like being women. But,
especially once he caught her, sneaking into his bookstore, and then after that also hiring her. I honestly thought he was about to kill her, but I know he's not gonna do that to a stranger off the rip.
He's done worse. But yeah, I think that where it all started kind of getting a little insane, the uncle, I'll give that to him, whatever. But whenever he kidnapped the wrong twin,
that was a crazy plot twist.
Because I was like, how the hell was he gonna get out of this? I thought he was just gonna let her go and be like, it was a joke. But he sat there and made one twin kill the other twin. And I knew she was gonna do it. I just had to.
But you gotta hold off on before that part too, because the fact that he also found out that was like the kid, pretty much, that the twin sister that he first captured was the wrong twin sister. That's her kid.
That was crazy. Like, well, I mean, it was just like a surrogate situation, but we all knew that Reagan was toxic. Maddie was just a little out of her. She definitely seemed like she drank wine and Xanax together. But Yeah, I think Maddie was a good person at heart. Joe definitely pushed her to the edge, and Reagan was Reagan.
Yeah.
And the fact that she had to cosplay as her after,
Oh,
and sat there and
yeah.
like would cry because she was being mean to.
Yeah, that
to
made
Harrison.
her definitely lose herself even more, because always calling, hitting up Joe like, I can't do this. Like, how we gonna get me out this situation if I could
Joe
go
was
back to
never
my
gonna get
normal
her out of
life,
that situation.
if I can go back to my normal life. He kept
Yeah.
talking about like all this boat trip we could do, fake her death. Like, yeah,
And
that's
he-
not working.
You know that he was just getting him out of the situation.
Yeah.
And just false hope. But yeah, I think the next big twist that kind of took everyone for a loop. Obviously, Joe kills again. He kills the Bronte's ex-boyfriend or supposed ex-boyfriend.
And that part was crazy too, because
All on
that
live.
that wasn't. I don't even think that was really like her boyfriend. It was just because if you go back to that season, it's just them. They've been had the plan like from.
Right.
It seemed like from like all the way from first season, just because. Bronte knew Beck,
Beck.
and they actually went to that, campus and, was
I
writing.
think unpacking
Yeah.
that. So yeah, Bronte knew Beck. Beck got killed. Beck's reading her book.
Yeah.
Like, something doesn't seem right. Falls down the Reddit loophole, and then boom, she ends up somehow becoming a hunter for serial killers to like expose Joe. And then she got like an in and all that, and it's kind of crazy. So I think that was kind of one of the biggest shocks, was just like the whole thing was set up. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is so smart. But then we realized Bronte was stupid and actually fell for Joe. He was a serial killer.
But I will say the season definitely like keeps you like on your toes
Oh,
wanting more,
100%.
because like even with Bronte and the whole crew she had and the guy that died that was supposed to be like her fake boyfriend, like that situation when he basically killed the boyfriend, killed him in front of her, and then the other friends recorded and put it live. I thought that was gonna be the end.
Yeah.
He killed.
Cuffs, ding, ding. But
like,
money talks.
Yeah.
He got out same day.
yeah, and
She
his
was
wife,
sitting there doing her
don't
thing.
play with that.
Yeah, Kate does not play.
Yeah.
And let's bring that straight to Kate. So we established that Bronte was stupid. Kate was probably the smartest person this entire season. Like,
Yeah.
she had everything locked up. I was really impressed by her character. Like, the way that she handled it, she wasn't sitting there crying, screaming, getting locked into a fucking cage. She ran the
Yeah.
show. Like, she did it all. She got caught lacking just because Joe had a fucking key in his damn arm and shit.
Yeah.
But that was the... Sorry,
But
I'm cursing so much.
yeah.
But that was like the only... she wouldn't have got caught lacking. But it is in a season of you, unless there's some twists.
Yeah, I just feel with that, I feel it got to a certain point towards like the end of the season that like Joe already knew that, that relationship he had with her wasn't gonna, especially once she found out that like he made one twin sister crazy by, having her kill the other sister, and she never could like, put two and two until she finally found her in the bathroom pretty much trying to act as both sisters. That was like that Split movie, with the mixed personalities joint.
Yeah.
Like she was really just
Like
bugging out.
schizophrenic in there.
Yeah. But I think also just in terms of back to Bronte, I find it crazy that she like pretty much she dedicated, after her mom passed away, she dedicated whole time to helping, her friends and herself, try to get back for Beck and get back for the professor to come out of jail. But then she automatically, thinks back when she's getting questioning, by the police at the department. Pretty much she goes back to like, yeah, I think it's self-defense, and I'm like, what? like,
She
what?
was like, oh no, he's just like this white knight. He's just defending a poor, helpless little woman. And the fact that she had all of the facts before even meeting Joe and still falling for his trap. He's so manipulative. He's very good. He's very good at reading people, getting what they want out of them. Like, he's good at that. Sadly, this is the last we'll see of Joe. Apparently,
unless if they want to do a spin-off with him in jail. Let's
hold off on that. That was gonna be my last one. So,
but yeah, like pretty much like, okay, after the Bronte part
I was
and
going
all
to talk
that,
about like how she brought Kate, who's smart, as we just mentioned, brought back Nadia to help her, and
that
brought
was a
back
surprise.
Marianne. Like, Nadia and Marianne really sealed it. Nadia in general was just like, okay, he just got you booked for murder. She helped him do it, but let's get this guy back. And then Marianne shows up, and I'm like, hold up, the whole world thought she was dead. Like,
yeah.
I thought it was like a skit or something. I was like, oh, this is like a dream or something like that.
She was reliving the past.
yeah, definitely. So yeah, that was kind of interesting. And then obviously Marianne talks to Bronte, talks some sense into Shorty, and then she's like, all right, cool, Joe is a serial killer. I'm not falling for this again, even though you already did. And then Maddie goes bonkers and sets the whole damn place on fire.
Oh yeah.
I love Maddie.
Yeah.
She's
I mean, she was trying to get. She probably
she's
definitely.
Like, I don't believe you.
At that point, I feel like, I don't know if, based on, her character or whatever at that moment, if she honestly knew that her sister was downstairs.
No.
But just the way it all played out, it's kind of like, damn, like, I mean, your sister technically already dead, well, is dying, but like, damn, you really just trying to light up the whole place to make sure Joe goes with it.
But it did give her a fighting chance, because if it was just them two down there, if she never sat there and knocked, she was about to get killed anyway.
Yeah.
So, that was crazy. And then let's talk about the biggest shock that I think we had was Bronte saving Joe. Because I feel like, like he thought that Bronte was here to save him, and like she could have just been like, okay, bye, and left him there to die. But she saved him because she wanted her revenge. She wanted justice for all those people. So like that was pretty powerful. It was kind of crazy. And then when they had the cut scene where Bronte was about to off Joe. Yeah, like guns to the face. That was crazy.
Like, I just feel like throughout the whole season, like especially towards like the middle to the end, like it was so many situations that Joe definitely could have died. Even when they put him in his own, his own box, and he still gets out. Like, come on, like you just gotta kill the man. You can't keep asking questions and keep, like negotiating him. Like, he gonna find a way to sneak out.
Well, they didn't. But we as watchers definitely know that's just like
and then I think also going back towards the end, I believe it happened in the last episode, like I think the saddest part is probably Joe getting the phone call from his son, after they connected with the video game iPad thing that his friend did.
Friend from season 2.
Yeah, from like season 2. And the son is just like, remember when you told me, there was no monsters in my room?
You're wrong.
You were wrong. No, I don't know he said that.
He was like, you're wrong. You lied.
Oh yeah, you lied. You're the monster. Yeah. So that, I ain't gonna lie, that kind of like, from
it made him crash out.
From a parent to, I don't even know if Joe a real parent in real life, but shit, the acting or whatever, I would have broke down. I would have broke down.
That man crashed the hell out, because Bronte had a gun on him. He said, I don't even care no more.
Yeah.
He said, kill me.
That's when I think Joe already knew it was like, it's over. Like, if my own, like, son don't really like look at me as like, like a father or someone he could look up to, is like, okay, what am I, living for anymore?
And she said your son will know what you are.
Yeah.
Whenever, and then they went to chasing each other around, trying to kill each other. That was,
yeah.
But and then I think that, because I don't know if you noticed, but she called 911 and then she dropped the phone, and they could hear in the background. Joe sitting there and confessing to murders.
Him talk about
like, this is, you want to know how I killed killed Beck, just like this. So I think police were like, we surrounded his mom, and then he was like, kill me. And then she shot his leg. I'm like, you should have been shot his leg. I would have shot both. She shot his dick off, his penis.
She shot him right there. Yeah,
that was, and then he got.
And then that's it. And then it was literally prison time forever now.
Yeah, and that's Joe's worst thing, is being alone. So it was kind of surprising that he didn't die at the end of this, because I feel like he's never really gone until you're gone.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm not saying that Joe will never be back, but the producers are saying that. So
yeah.
But
I don't know. That's why you know, we definitely think it could be maybe a spin-off.
I'm thinking
you know?
a spin-off with Bronte.
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking,
maybe with that.
I'm thinking maybe Bronte goes around and hunts some serial killers or lures guys and stuff like that. Because the ending made it seem like she said, "And what's next for me? I don't know," or something like that.
Yeah.
Or we'll just have to find out. So that sounds like it's being set up.
Especially how, like, she's just
and
walking in New York. Yeah, and how she's just walking in New York after that, like, just pretty much, you know, chilling, cruising, like, well, I got my guy, you know, he's locked up now. So.
And that was one shock to me. Like, at the end of the final episode, we saw Kate alive, and then that what's her brother's name?
Teddy.
Yeah, Teddy made the company 100%.
Oh yeah, nonprofit. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, and I mean, I feel like she already wanted to leave the company to him for the longest, but it was just, you know, what's her name?
Reagan.
Yeah, Reagan was just, you know, very, you know, just a asshole, pretty much, you know.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Reagan is very.
And you know, if any of y'all real actors come across this video, we know y'all was acting, so, you know, this ain't saying like your real character in real life. We talking about your character and you. You know.
Yeah, that means that they do a good job at.
Because I'm pretty sure Joe's chill as fuck in real life, you know. Hopefully
he's from Baltimore.
Yeah, exactly. Where she from, you know, so I'm pretty sure he calm.
He,
you know.
He hates, so the actor who plays Joe, he hates his character Joe. He's like, I don't understand why these women are glorifying. Because a lot of women, like, they have like a fake crush on Joe or whatever.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, he can put me in his cage or something like that. And he's just like, you do realize he's a serial killer. Like, he's like, this is insane. So
at least I feel like, and just in total of the whole finale, I just feel like it showed, like, no matter what, because, you know, I feel like if you go back to even season 1, any season, the main goal, I feel like, in Joe's mind was always to find that perfect one that he just, you know, he can, you know, make it family, make it home, you know, to him, always feel loved and, you know, love them back. But it just always gets to a point where, like, if something gets involved or something like, you know, like exes or just, you know, like friendships start acting weird around him, he's just like, okay, I'm gonna just get rid of you because, you know, we don't need you.
Honestly, Bronte was looking convincing. Like, she could have been his perfect one. She was really like, oh, you can kill for me. Like, that's kind of cool. And I was just like, and then Love, if we go back to season 3, I think, Love, she was the same person as Joe. Like, he should have just said
pretty much,
but he wanted someone to save, and Love didn't need saving.
Yeah,
you know?
That's the thing. Yeah,
she was her own person, and she respects her Love.
Yeah, I guess that shining knight is true, because he really wants to be a knight for, you know, for any girl that he falls in love with instantly or starts stalking to make him fall in love with him. But that's pretty much.
What would is there anything that you would have expected from the end that you didn't see? Any loose ends that were not tied up?
I just feel like, I don't know. I just feel like the reason why I say it wasn't what I expected is just because I feel that he definitely should have died. Or maybe, I don't know. I guess the only thing he should have. Yeah, I feel like either he should have, like, killed himself, or like someone actually, like, eventually should have killed him, because all the murders he did over the years, it's like, bro, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, in prison he can die too.
Yeah, I think that the prison, it made sense, but I think we were waiting for like a big twist at the end, and we just didn't get it. Like, okay, he's in prison now. What?
Or it could have been like, he entered prison, they could have showed a little bit more of him in prison, and then he could have just died because, you know, maybe the other inmates thought, you know, I mean, the other inmates know, like, why he's in there, like, for killing all these women, and they probably would have, you know, jumped him or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I thought he was, because he's alone.
Yeah.
So I thought he was gonna off himself because you know.
Oh
Joe,
yeah.
He always needs somebody.
Yeah, he could have hanged himself too in prison. Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see some more Joe.
Yeah, maybe we'll get some spin-offs. I don't know. You know, we're not the producers, so we don't know. We're just the watchers like you. You know, we're just people that tune in like you. Like but yeah, I mean that's pretty much, you know, just pretty much going into detail. I know kind of mixed a couple of the seasons a little bit with the whole season finale, but it's just because it's kind of like it all adds up. You know, it's kind of like even though it's a show, it just feels like a movie. So you know,
Yeah, you're right. Great show. I don't know how they're gonna top that.
Yeah.
Anything that good. So
we would always wait exactly like, oh yeah, when it's coming, when it's coming, yeah.
So yeah, that's all I
Yeah,
have.
but yeah, thank you for the producers for making such a great, beautiful show. I'm definitely gonna rewatch it from beginning to end now, unless y'all want to make more episodes. But yeah, but yeah, y'all let us know definitely in the comments what y'all think. If y'all did watch you, definitely don't watch this if you ain't watch you, because you just got a bunch of spoilers. So
You'll never remember
yeah. But yeah, definitely tune in if you didn't tune in, and you know, give it a like if you like, and you know, just let us know in the comments. Do you think like it should have ended a different way, or you think they ended it the right way? Yeah. But you know, y'all have a good night because it is nighttime, and yeah, peace. We out.